You'll never guess who's back in the Delaware legislature. Roger Roy. I know. You thought he retired. You thought because he told you that he was leaving the Delaware legislature because he wanted to spend time with his grandchildren. I guess the grandchildren are all grown up now, because Roger Roy is back as a registered lobbyist with the state of Delaware. He's prowling the corridors, the offices, the inner sanctums of the General Assembly, representing the interests of the Burris firm, of the organization, the Delaware Outdoor Advertising Incorporated, and Media Guide America. I want to do some speculating now. And I have no evidence, but I do think some coincidences are awfully interesting. Do you remember when Roger Roy retired? The Republican Roger Roy, who was the chairperson of the Bond Bill Committee for several years. Remember who openly cried on the floor of the House of Representatives? The Democratic Party leader, Bob Gilligan. Yeah. Did you know that the staff person that worked for Roger Roy, his personal assistant, is the wife of Representative Laughlink, a Republican? Yes, that's true. Now, regular Delaware Watch readers will remember that Roger Roy had a business of sorts. Actually, it's a 501c3, I believe, and he was employed by it, called Transportation Management Association, TMA. TMA arranged rideshare programs for businesses, some of them major corporations. You know what most businesses do by email and bulletin boards. Required major corporations to invest into TMA, and actually some major corporations in Delaware sat on the TMA board. And coincidentally, you know how it works, Roger Roy would often sponsor legislation that would benefit the kinds of businesses and industries represented on the TMA board. And to be a member of the TMA board, you had to pay dues. Now, the TMA board not only got money from major corporations, but it got money from you, Delawareans. It got money from the taxpayers. Every year, the Budget Bill Committee would appropriate thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Transportation Management Association, for which Roger Roy was employed, while he was also a member and the chairperson of the Bond Bill Committee. Now, Roger Roy, it has been reported to me, has been saying that he is advocating for the Burrs firm, the Delaware Outdoor Advertisers, and also Media Guide of America. But he's also been telling people that he's there asking for more appropriations for TMA. Yes, indeed. Now here's the coincidence. Bob Gilligan just led the Democratic caucus in the House to vote down HB 4. HB 4, which would have opened up the budget bill and the bond bill 3 days and 2 days in advance of the end of the legislative session. That would have given us opportunity to review these bills, to see what got slipped in because of the activity of lobbyists, like appropriations for TMA. Bob Gilligan did this, led this coup against HB 4 in the Democratic caucus, so that those bills come out 2 or 3 hours in advance. Hundreds of pages these bills can comprise, so that nobody has a chance to check and see what they're voting on. Guess who else voted against HB 4 on the Republican side? Representative Laughlin. The man I just told you, whose wife worked several years for Representative Roy, for Roger Roy. Pretty amazing, isn't it?